Brothers and sisters, it's been a great honor to serve you as your General President, representing our brothers and sisters who keep our two nations moving. It's a privilege that I have cherished and I have not taken for granted. I have had the opportunity to shake your hands on the job site, rail yards, and on picket lines to make your voices heard in our nation's capitals. I will miss those interactions and I will always cherish those memories. I started as General President in 2015. 8 years later, and with the Biden administration, the future is bright. New work is breaking ground at an unprecedented pace for our sheet metal members. And we are finally on the offense when it comes to safety and quality of life improvements for rail and transit workers. This is our time, and there is no better person to lead us in this time than our incoming General President Mike Coleman. I have worked with Mike for many years. I have seen his dedication. I have seen his interaction with countless people and his ability to lead. It is a great pleasure for me to sit here with President-elect Mike Coleman, and I want to thank you for all of your support. So Mike, what is the most exciting thing that you're about to approach in the future of SMART?
Wow, that's a big question. There are so many things to be excited about. As you've mentioned in many of your talks, all the upcoming work for our sheet metal members, how we're actually on the offense in our transportation department, how we've made changes over the past few years in our diversity, equity, inclusion. There's just so many things to be excited about, but I think what I'm most excited about is to answer the call for these mega projects and being able to put our members on these jobs and getting every hour out of those projects. So Joe, what do you think have been some of your most important victories for the SMART members during your time as GP?
So I will say that throughout my career, retirement security is vitally important to our entire industry, our members, and the ability to retire with dignity. So being able to be part of a piece of our National Pension Fund. Our National Pension Fund went from red to yellow and turned green last year. Mm-hmm. I really didn't think that as an active member that I would see the green zone, but we have. The other piece that I feel good is I was appointed as the co-chair of the Retirement Security Group, working group at the AFL-CIO. So being able to do that and being able to help in that area and really to come out with the Biden administration with retirement security and pension relief that was so vitally important to so many so that we can all retire in dignity. Bringing transportation division together, right? Making sure that we now have 203,000 members, transportation, sheet metal, all coming together with a common purpose. You know, really making ourselves bigger, making our voices louder, member by member, family by family is vitally important. And that member engagement is so important to everything that we do. You know, not just here in Washington, but back home when they're communicating with their leadership, their congressional and their Senate and their local leaders is really important. And I would also say the Biden administration. So, you know, it's been great to play offense. We've talked about offense a couple times. It's been great to play offense. It's been great to be a resource that they can use our expertise. My life's work, 43 years, is being a craftsperson in the sheet metal industry and being able to have the administration call on our expertise in every sector of work that we do is vitally important and has been exciting, and the engagement has been really good for us and really moving us and our country forward. So those things have been really good. And we implemented the Smart Army as well, which we're not great at patting ourselves on the back, the things we do, the things that we do in our communities, the activities that we are, and doing that community work has been good, and making sure that using Smart Army and really letting everybody see the contributions that we, Smart Union, our members make in every corner of both of our countries has been really great to see.
Yeah, and I agree with that. What are some of the opportunities that we need to seize in the future? And why do you think now is our moment?
So you touched on mega projects. There's about $600 billion worth of work. There's $600 billion in the pipeline right now. I view this as generational growth. Generational growth for our union, generational growth for our families, making sure that we continue to provide the workforce on each and every one of those projects, making sure that the workers have the skill sets to perform, making sure that we have the amount of workers on the job that are going to be necessary. So as you said, these mega projects are going to be across both United States and Canada, and we got to make sure that we mobilize the necessary workforce with the necessary skills. The ability to recruit and retain. We got to organize in every community. We got to recruit and retain in every community. And as I said, generational growth, but it's also family growth. When you're building the middle class up and out, you're bringing new people, new families into the middle class. And it's not only the sheet metal worker or the rail worker, but it's also the next generation and the next generation. We have the opportunity to change lives here. And as we change lives, we're going to make that middle class bigger, and we're going to make sure that we're in every community doing our job, bringing people in, teaching them, training them to be a smart member.
And you've had so many great moments. Are there any specific or favorite memories you'll think back on as your time as the general president?
So I was at a meeting yesterday, and somebody reminded me of my listening tour. So prior to the pandemic, I would, and I still to this day, I will always try to go in early, and I will always try to stay an extra day so that I can get to those job sites, those picket lines, as I talked about a little while ago, making sure that I'm in the rail yard and the shops and the manufacturing. But that is really been a good piece for me to get out and be on that listening tour, making sure that we hear what a member goes through, what is affecting their workplace and what's affecting their lives, and how do we bring that back to DC, and how do we help that. So that's been really engaging to me, and I've really appreciated their honesty and their help moving our union, right? Developing where we need to go. I think recruitment and retention has been another one, to be able to include women and people of color, making sure that we're recruiting and retaining in every community, and making sure that we have committees that help with that, right? So a women's committee, a person of color committee, a veterans committee, so that we have a network of people that we can learn from and we can lean on. Every once in a while, we need to make sure that we have somebody to go to, particularly when somebody's having a hard time on a job. We need to be more welcoming. We need to be more inclusive, and that means all of us need to pull on that rope together to make sure that we're doing a better job every day than we did the day before. I would also say that chairing the 2019 convention was really a great moment for me. Transportation, sheet metal, 1,000 delegates coming together, and there were a couple moments that things got railed up for sure. But we all came together at the end, and I speak about 203,000 members. Well, there's 1,000 delegates representing those members, and the changes that they made, and the ability for us to conduct our business for that 5 years. You have one coming up next year, right? For the next 5 years, and how do we plan for our union? How do we plan for the growth of our union? And how do we engage our membership? So, those are the things that I guess I reflect on. So what are some of your priorities or SMART's priorities, short and long term in the future?
Well, I think our biggest priority right now, short term, is going to be these mega projects. For the sheet metal side of our organization, I believe that we need to answer that call. We need to get the members to these job sites to be able to perform on these projects for the end users. It's our opportunity to organize like I don't know that you and I have ever seen before. So that is obviously a short-term priority. For the transportation division, it is to shore up our two-person crew legislation. It is to bring rail safety back. That is going to be our short-term priorities. Also, they're going to double as our long-term, because as we both know, these mega projects and the legislation for the rail are long lasting. The mega projects don't end in a year or two. These are years worth of work. Same with the legislation. We're always trying to fight for new legislation for our transportation division members, and that's going to be a continuous fight. So quite honestly, we have short-term goals, but they actually double as our long-term goals as well. But I would also like to continue your work and bringing inclusion into our organization. I think that's very important, and it's been great work so far. As I've termed it, you have moved mountains in a very short period of time, and I am not going to let that go to waste.
Yeah, so working together with transportation, it's a dangerous business, and really improving safety at every level of freight rail, transit rail, bus drivers. Bus drivers are getting shot and they're being violated and those types of things, and that's a point of our members' voice, right? Standing up and making sure that we continue to improve upon worker safety in a very dangerous business, and that's been very eye-opening to me. Certainly since 2012 when we all came together, but it does take every one of our voices to make safety improvements in that sector, in every sector, right? It's always a safety culture. In construction, our culture's changed in my generation. Well, if we all come together, we can change that in this generation.
Agreed.
So what are you looking forward to doing as General President?
Again, so many things, but I really am looking forward to continuing your tradition of site visits. I've had the ability to go out on a couple sites with you and really enjoyed that interaction, and I could see the difference it made to the members that were out there on that project. So I really want to continue doing that type of work. Lobbying, again, I think that we are in such a strong position right now, and we cannot drop the ball at this point. We are finally on offense. I don't remember the last time we were on offense, but you know what? Playing defense is no fun. All the fun's in the offense, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue playing offense.
Yeah. And one of the values that I've seen in visits, right, the listening tour, as I did call it a while ago, is talking to our members, engaging with our members, seeing technology. You can hear technology in DC, but you don't necessarily touch and feel it, and you don't see the impact that it has, and the pride that members have about how they've upgraded their skills. Life is a journey of learning, right? Ongoing professional development. We are professionals, and we need to continue to make our skills and improve our skills as times change, as technology changes, as procedures change. That was another really big component of getting out and making sure you spend a little bit of time with our membership and their leaders, and really get the boots on the ground approach and not be disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I've seen the changes. I've seen the difference that it's made, and how appreciative our members are.
Yeah. So what do you want smart members to know about the future of our union?
I think the most important thing I want the members to know is that we are going to push forward. We are going to represent our members on a day in and day out basis. The team that we've built here wants to do that, and we're working as a team to better the lives of sheet metal workers and transportation workers. Again, this is our moment. This is where we need to be. And I've seen it. I've seen that when we do the things the way we're supposed to do them, that we are literally changing lives. And it's just such a good feeling. So I want the members to understand that we're going to continue with our representation, and we're going to continue coming up with new initiatives that make them and their families' lives better.
Well, I am looking forward to seeing the work that you and your entire team does in the coming years. You're planning for your convention, what amendments and resolutions, and how the delegates come together. And I have 100% confidence. I know you're going to do a great job, and I'm looking forward to being, watching, viewing where you take our organization.
Well, I appreciate that, General President Sellers. Obviously, you've set the bar. I've said it many times, big shoes to fill, but I'm certainly going to give my best.
I know you will.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.